Sheila serves as the moral bridge between the inspector and the audience. Her transformation from a shallow consumerist child to an assertive, socially conscious woman mirrors the shift Priestley wanted to see in Britain between 1912 and 1945. She becomes proxy for the inspector, often finishing his sentences or explaining his omniscience to her slower-witted family members. Analysis. Her initial reaction to Ava's death is entirely egocentric. Her first question, pretty, reveals her shallow values, and her wish that she hadn't been told shows her desire to remain in a gilded cage of ignorance. Grade 9 link. At the start, Sheila is a product of her environment. She has been raised to be a decoration. Her transition from this selfishness to genuine guilt is the emotional heart of this play's didactic educational structure. But these girls aren't cheap labor, they're people. Analysis. This is the most famous line of the play's ideological battle. She directly challenges her father's capitalist terminology by instinctively correcting his use of labor with people. She humanizes the working class. Grade 9 link. This shows that the younger generation is impressionable, as the inspector says. She is the first to break the class wall and recognize the shared humanity between the Birlings and the Ava Smiths of the world. I'll never do it again to anybody. I feel I can never go out of it now. Analysis. The repetition of never emphasizes her total commitment to change. Unlike her parents, she doesn't try to make excuses. She recognizes that she has been infected by the truth and cannot return to her previous life of blind luxury. Grade 9 link. Sheila experiences anagnosis, a moment of tragic realization. She realizes that a small act of jealousy at Mildred's has a huge consequence, illustrating Priestley's theme of the butterfly effect in social responsibility. It frightens me the way you talk. Analysis. By Act 3, the power dynamic has shifted. She is no longer the child being scolded. She is the one scolding her parents. The verb frightens highlights her horror at her parents' lack of morality. Grade 3 link. She recognizes that her parents are static, unchanging, and that their refusal to learn makes them dangerous. She is now completely aligned with the inspector's fire, blood, and anguish warning. Grade 9 interpretation paragraph. Priestley utilizes Sheila Birling as a vessel for socialist transformation, tracking her journey from a mummy-dependent socialite to an autonomous moral agent. Initially, Sheila embodies the materialistic vacuity of the Edwardian middle class, yet she is the first to reject Arthur's dehumanizing rhetoric that views the proletariat as merely cheap labor. Through her interaction with the inspector, Sheila evolves into a secondary protagonist and a dramatic tool used to dismantle the family's wall of secrecy. Her refusal to resume her engagement with Gerald at the play's end, symbolizing a rejection of the patriarchal and capitalist status quo. Ultimately, Sheila represents the famous younger generation who are more impressionable to the truth, serving as Priestley's hopeful message that the post-war world can be rebuilt on a foundation of collective empathy rather than individualistic greed. Key themes to link her to. The generational divide. She is the leader of the younger generation and who accepts responsibility. Social responsibility. She understands that everything we do affects others. Gender. She transitions from a submissive fiancée to a woman who speaks her mind. You and I aren't the same people who sat down to dinner.